I think my biggest regret in my early 20s was it is too early in the morning for this, but I'm flying out to Surfers Paradise because I'm going to a musicians conference thing with the winner of The Voice 2023 and a bunch of other people, so let's go. Okay, so I got through security. Quick Tubie hack for anyone who has medical device, but particularly a surgical fitting tube. I'm wearing a dress today. So in my last videos, I've gone through security many times with a fitting tube, and I usually say disconnect. But when you have a dress on and you're already connected, you can't really do that. I would suggest, if you want to disconnect and have a smoother kind of travel, then don't wear a dress. Otherwise you want to show too much trying to unconnect. But this is an airport, not a strip club, so anyway, I'm just gonna chill until I fly. So I've landed at the Gold Coast, and here at the Gold Coast they take go-karts. Luckily I have one from when I was in Brisbane last year recording up at the studio. Let's go get a bus. Into my hotel. It's quite a small, kind of dingy, but that's okay. It's fine. I'm gonna have a shower and then I'm gonna head out, do some exploring. I don't think I'm gonna come back here until after tonight. So I'm gonna have a shower, wash my hair, put my makeup on. Salute too. Hey, so I found a spot right near where I'm going, and I thought I'd talk to you a bit about what I'm doing. I'm using my bag at the moment as a windshield. I'm using it as a windshield because I'm on the beach and it's like super windy. So just pretend we're like camping and we're talking in a tent, I don't know. Something I really wanted to talk to you guys about is just do it. I spent so much of my early adulthood. I'm now in my mid-20s, which is it's just weird. I think my biggest regret in my early 20s was listening to too many people that were telling me things that weren't necessarily true. Specifically, people telling me what my life should and shouldn't be. When I finished high school, I knew that the only thing I could ever imagine myself doing was music. But because everyone was telling me to get a real job, I gave in to that and ended up getting a job at a pharmacy that turned out to be the worst job I've ever had. It was a very toxic work environment. Anyway, that aside, I ended up choosing to work and stay there because I needed a real job, and until I could figure out what that job was that I wanted to do for the rest of my life that was a real job, I couldn't really do anything else but work where I knew I was going to at least get a paycheck. Not a good one, but a paycheck. I then got sick and had to quit my day job or real job, and then that's when I started listening to other messages saying, now you have this illness, you are practically unable to chase your dreams, life is over, that is it. You're just going to be stuck in hospital for the rest of your life, in and out of hospital, and when you're not in hospital, you'll just be looking after yourself at home. Incorrect. I listened to the people that were telling me that that's what my life now entailed because of my illness, and so I continued not to pursue the things that I loved. Until recently, I always still wanted to do music, but my thought was more just doing it on the side, and I ended up meeting my now producer technically meeting. Technically we had already met before. That's a story for another day. It's a very, very long story. And my producer has now taken me on and I'm releasing music officially, which to me is insane. I am now a recording artist. Mind you, I'm at the very start of my journey, so there is still so much more to do and so much more to grow with my music. But just the fact that I can come up here today and go to a music industry conference for like the music industry in Australia for my particular genre, which I'll talk about my genre in another video, it's very complicated. But the fact that I get to go is pretty insane. I'm not tied down to a job, so I can literally just be like, yep, I am going to book a plane ticket, go up to the Gold Coast and do this conference. Because you know what? I think what I'm learning more and more is just to say yes. Literally, that's all it takes. Just say yes and work the rest out later. I literally booked the conference before I booked anything else and I worked everything else out. And this is what I'm learning as an adult, that just go for it. And obviously everyone's situation is different. Some people, getting a real job is important when you're working your way up at the start. I unfortunately couldn't get a real job after a while. I did at the start and then that privilege was taken from me. I believe that where there's a will, there's a way. Give it a go. It might not work out, but what if it does? Anyway, let's go to this conference. I'm super excited. I just screamed while doing that, and I hope that wasn't loud because my room kind of echoes out there. Hello. Ben and Jerry's. This sit down chat brought to you by Ben and Jerry's. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay. So Ben and Jerry's had a bit of a journey to get here. It's very melted. Okay, so tonight, literally, such a good night. The conference was so good. I got no footage. No one, because like I felt it'd be weird to like film it, and also I was having such a great time. I also didn't take any photos, which now I'm kind of a bit bummed about, but that's okay. I was just talking to a lot of people and too in the moment to like grab out a camera. I did think about filming on my phone, but my phone was at 3% and I need to get back to here safely. My phone's still intact. You just have to believe me that it was a good night. So I met Bridey Drake, who, by the way, can I just say, you know when you like see people online and you're like, oh, she seems really cool, but then you're like, but that's only online, like how do I know if she's actually like that? You can believe me on this one. Bridey is legit actually like that. She is legit a down-to-earth, kind, lovely galley. She's wonderful. She sat with us and she was really lovely, and she introduced me to some of the people like Taryn, who won The Voice last year, and also introduced me to, I've forgotten her name because it's a very interesting name. She's from LA, a wonderful musician. She sung for us tonight. Bridey's not a musician, but she was there kind of like, she was like, I'm not a musician, but I'm here for moral support. And then I got into the conference. I realized I did know a few people there from just music stuff and behind the scenes music stuff. There was a few people like I knew briefly. One of the people I had actually hadn't met in person. We'd just been talking via email or for like music stuff. And I was like, oh, I wasn't thinking you'd be here, but that's cool. There was also another girl there that I know from another music gig that I did. She's a radio person. Some of the people that I talked to at the start who were kind of more into the radio side of things had already heard my music, which was cool. It was sent through and stuff, and yeah, it's just, I'm so keen. I had a few conversations with them about it, and I was very encouraged to hear the feedback for my music. I'm so excited. I'm on a bit of a high at the moment from it all. Like, it's so cool. It's also just like a weird kind of thing that just happened, and then just, you know, I'm back to reality. It was like, I'm in a room with Bridey Drake, and I met some other people as well. I don't really know how to explain how I'm feeling right now. Everything's just falling into place, and I'm not really doing, I'm doing things like, but I'm not setting it up. I'm just like being like, yeah, cool, and going and doing it. Like, I'm taking action, but the opportunities, I'm not really having to look for them because they're just coming. Like, at the start I had to look for them, but now, you know, they're just coming, and it's insane. It's crazy. It's wonderful. I love it. I could go on and on and on about this whole experience, how great it is, how wonderful it's been. It's literally just been something that I'm pinching myself over. I am, however, going to have to stop talking because my camera's about to die. I also don't have enough storage on it, and I didn't bring my computer to take the storage off because I'm going to disconnect from the internet world over the next couple of days and week because I've got a camp that I do every year, and it's in the middle of nowhere, there's no reception. We just like to disconnect and be focused on the campus and everything. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you liked it even more, don't forget to click that subscribe button. You can also follow me over on my Instagram at Amity. Love you guys. Bye.